Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm gonna change out the valve cover gasket and the spark plug tube gasket, and I'm gonna attach a little, probably up here somewhere, the link to the, before you get to the valve you might as well remove, you know, everything else that needed to, like the spark plug procedure. So let's get to it. So after you remove the spark plug igniter and all the wiring from it, then you procedure, then you can go ahead and remove the grounding wire right here. By the way, the socket is number 10 millimeter. So what I'm doing here, I remove the bracket that hold these tube to the valve. There's also another one behind it. So, and there's another one on the side also to move this bundle out of the way better. There's a couple of screws that you're gonna have to remove in the back. I think it's gonna show up a little bit after this. See, I removed one of the nut that hold the bracket that hold that bundle. See back there? Yeah, you're gonna have to remove. That's a number 10 also. See, now it's completely loose. Everything's disconnected from the valve cover. I go ahead and remove this one, also the bracket that hold the bundle. This one here. There's another nut that will hold the bundle a little bit. You probably better off if you remove it. There's a way. See, right now I'm doing it. You can actually, there's a plastic clip, but it's so hard to find how to do it. So I just go ahead and remove it, and then I unhook them once the valve's out, and then put it back in. Yeah, you're gonna need the special tool for this. That's a number 10, by the way. Number 10 wrench will enable you to remove this one nut. It's a slow process, but eventually you get it out. Yeah, make sure you clear everything away from the valve cover before you start removing the valve cover. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of headache. I think right here, I'm trying to use. Yeah, not sure, but see now, so everything's kind of loose away from the valve cover. So when everything's clear, see there's a nut back there. See this one right there? See, you actually can squeeze that and get it out of the way, but it's so hard. So I might as well remove, by the way, you might as well remove this nut because you're gonna change out the seal for the VVT control valve here anyway. So go ahead and remove that nut. I mean that bolt, not nut. It's actually a bolt back there. That's a 10 millimeter bolt. So there's 13 nut bolt total on the top of the valve cover. So you need to, if you don't remove, you don't count 13 that you loosen up. There is always something holding it back. So make sure you count 13 nut total. There's one that will sit right on top in the middle, not in the middle, but it's on top of the valve cover. I'm not sure if I have it record or not, but I think I did. Yeah, this is a very tedious task. So take your time, remove them slowly. So I'm quickly go around, make sure everything's clear away from it. Yeah, make sure everything's clear away from it. Disconnect the vent hole. All the plug is disconnect. And here I am, go ahead and remove all the nut all the way around 13. So use the screwdriver gently, pry it around slowly, a little bit edge there. There's a little place that you can actually put it. Eventually it will come loose. There you go. This is engine with 120,000 miles with that was well maintained. I changed the oil every 5,000 miles with the same oil, Mobile One synthetic. Nice and clean, no slut, nothing. You see those kind of weird shape looking gasket right there, the T? Those things are very important. Those are the VVT, variable valve timing control. The oil is used to control the valve. So if you don't change your oil properly and the right grade, it's gonna affect the engine performance. So make sure you use the right kind of oil recommended. See right here on top, you don't see any sludge deposits, just a little bit. You know, that's nothing. That's 10-year worth of driving. So very clean. See those gasket on the tube? Those are it's very hard to change out. So use your time. I use a socket to remove those. To remove is easy, but to put the see these things, keep them clean. Those things are very important. Don't let anything drop in there. You see those tube with a little hole? Those are important too. 'Cause what it does is it spray oil to the rest of the engine. Right here, that's the point. Yeah, these aftermarket they don't fit that well. The gasket. You have 4 of these tube. I ended up damaged 2 of those. Try to install them, so I went ahead and leave 2 of the original one and then chain out 2 of them. So yeah, these are very tough part to change. See that bolt right in the middle there? If you don't remove that, you're not gonna take this out. So I used the socket to tap it out. Remember, I told you that part that broke. See those 2 valves on the right there? Make sure you remove those because they include gasket to change them out. So remove those before you do this. Otherwise, you're gonna see I made a very expensive mistake here. I will explain to you at the end. Since I'm removing them anyway, so I didn't care. I just used to make sure you don't touch the screwdriver on the wall of the sealing surface. So just tap it on these old gasket, not on the wall. All right. That's why I look very careful when I tap. Yeah, it's a little bit challenging to get these out. Be careful. Don't scrape the. See, eventually I get it out. So take your time doing this. And if the new one doesn't fit, don't force it. I used a little bit of sandpaper. Yeah, it was a little bit hard to change this out. So I'm gonna cut this short. It's hard to put it in. So use some sandpaper, sand it out a little bit at a time, and eventually that's why I'm emphasizing using OEM replacement part, because these are not OEM and they didn't fit right at all. Yeah, make sure you don't don't tap those tubes. So once you replace those spark plug tube gasket, see right here, I put a little bit on the corner here. I'm gonna spruce it up a little bit.
So here's my lesson learned from this adventure of car care on the 2012 Scion XD. So if your valve cover gasket is not leaking, don't mess with it, because it's a lot of work. I thought it was going to take me about an hour, but it ended up taking me a whole day because changing out those gasket for the spark plug tube, it take a lot of work, and you got to be gentle with it. And also, when you remove those gasket, you will turn it over, and you're going to pout it out, and then you got to be careful. You might break a VVT control valve. I will show you after this little briefing here. And then number two, the buy original part, because I bought the aftermarket part from Rock Auto. I mean, they work, but they like a little bit off, so I kind of have to work with it a little bit. And then the third thing is torque-wise, it doesn't matter, because as long as you snug it all the way down on the valve cover, it will seal. I mean, it will completely sit on the bottom. I will show you once I'm getting out here in the engine bay. And number four, make sure when you put it back, the wiring, get it out of the way so it doesn't get caught under the valve when you install. I end up doing that, so I have to remove everything back up to get that wire out. I will show you which wire to be careful for. And also make sure everything's connected. Otherwise, when you start an engine, it's going to throw a check engine light at you. And in my case, I forgot one of these connecting, and it throw me it called position B sensor. VVT sensors is off. So I'm going to show you. All right, let's go.
So here you can see this is an aftermarket gasket. So there are 4 points that you kind of have put a little bit sealant just at the corner to make sure nothing's leak. Then back here, right around behind here, I won't be able to show you, but if you use a mirror, you should be able to right behind here. You gotta be careful at that corner. Also, make sure the gasket, sit completely inside the channel before you tighten it down. And there you can see, it doesn't matter the torque value. As soon as it bottom out like this, you're good, because it should seal completely. Also, this is the culprit that I broke when I removed these spark plug tube seal in here. You probably will see a little bit already. Yeah, these things, remove this and also this back here. There's 2 valves completely, because they come with a seal to replace them. Yeah, it came with this seal here. And let's see, this is the valve that I broke. I was pounding on the top and I didn't realize it broke the end right here. It didn't throw any coat, but I was inspecting, it seemed loose, so that's why. By the way, this is a expensive mistake, $150 mistake. So make sure you remove these valves. You might as well remove them because you have to replace these seals anyway. And this one wire here, be careful when you reinstall them. This one, it got caught in between the valve and go inside, and I didn't notice it. So make sure all the wires away from everything when you put in. Make sure, run your hand around it, make sure nothing stick on the valve. And then this one guy, which is hidden pretty well, way back here. Where was it? This guy. Let me see, I can point my finger. See this guy? This little plug right here? That's the valve position sensor. So if you don't plug that in, it's gonna throw a check engine at you. You got this and that. There's 2 valves. And you see there's 2 valves here. And there's 2, that's actually actuator, 2 actuators and 2 sensors here. Make sure these things are plugged up. Yeah, make sure all the wire connected. All right. Thanks for watching. I will catch you on the next video.